Hello, how y'all doing today? I have a surface from the Dollar Tree that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using the back side of it. It's, double duty decor, and I'm using a small canvas. Welcome to Ivycreates. Please subscribe, like, and share, and thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate you. So I've got my two surfaces here, a small canvas and the back of another sign that I'd gotten from Dollar Tree, both of them. And I'm going to just give them a base coat of my Dixie Belle cotton. Do stay tuned to the end of this for the final product pictures. They're much better pictures and easier to see. This is inspiration for you, I hope. It is not, you do not have to copy whatever I do unless you want to, but it's just an inspiration for a couple of techniques that you can try. I was at a place called Vintage Market Days, and I saw many wall hanging things and other things that were done with these techniques that I'm about to show you. So I wanted you to kind of understand how to do them and how simple they really are. So I'm just going to cover my surfaces with this Dixie Belle cotton, so that I like using a chalk paint background on whatever I'm using. And then I'm going to use some of my Americana acrylic paints that I mix up in my little paint pot. And I'm using yellow right now, a kind of a golden yellow, and with just a touch of orange and a touch of gold in it. And all I'm doing is putting a base coat kind of haphazardly over my Dixie Belle cotton paint, because I know I say this haphazardly. It's funny when you're doing something a little bit more abstract and you take more time to intentionally put things where you want them, but then again, it doesn't look that way. It looks like it's haphazard. So that's what I mean. So I'm just kind of dabbing a little color here and there to give me a really varied background on the surfaces that I'm using. Thank you again for watching. I really do appreciate you guys. So all I'm going to do is put different layers of paint. I'm putting some pinks, I'm putting some darker pinks, and just kind of blending it out a little bit to make as if it were a sunset sky. That is a good way to explain it. A sunset sky would be great. So that's what I'm doing, and I also want you to be able to see the backgrounds and what colors I'm putting on. So now I'm going to use a little bit of the blue for a different thing, and then I must have changed my mind. Anyway, so I'm putting some more color on the background before I finish doing that. I'm going to make my angel out of blue. And so I'm going to do 3 different projects today, and one is each technique and the other is a combination of 2 techniques. So you can kind of get an idea of what you're looking at. And you do want color on the background. Make sure it's good and dry. And after it's dry and it's ready to accept other things, we can pull out our glue gun. So for this portion of it, I'm going to use my glue gun, and I want to make a cross on my canvas. So you can draw one on your canvas if you want to have a background. I'm just doing it straight from the glue gun. And I will tell you this, with all of the projects that I have that I'm using the glue gun on, do use a thicker glue. Like, you might have to go back a couple of times and add more glue to the top of it. It just works better if you have a thicker glue stream. So I was using a small fine detail glue gun, so you might want to use your regular old glue gun for this, so you can get a thick goopy background. So that's all I'm doing to this, and it's kind of hard to tell because it is clear, of course, right now. But you can get an idea of what I'm doing as I'm making a cross onto my canvas. Now, ideally, I kind of felt like that you should probably use a solid surface like wood, or like this melamine that I'm using, or MDF board. That seems to work better with the glue and all, rather than a canvas, because a canvas has give to it. So you can use a piece of board, you can use anything you want to use to make the background and to put the glue on. Now on this sheet, I want to do an angel. So I'm going to just start by doing a circle of gold in the background, a golden yellow. And this is an approximation of where I want the head to eventually be. And then I'm going to take some really pretty blue and I'm going to make a giant triangle from the bottom of the yellow. And I just want to come all the way to the bottom of my canvas, or my MDF board, and make a triangle. That's all we're doing. It's super simple. Once I get everything in place to where I want it, then I can add more, embellish, do whatever I want to do. So I'm just blocking in the color. Don't even think about it. It's really super easy. Don't even think about it. Just do. And so you've got a circle with a triangle underneath it. And that's all there is to it. And we're going to go from there and add some more paint. And the reason why I chose on this one, like on the cross, I didn't draw anything on the canvas before I put glue on. This one I wanted you to be able to see it better, so I thought I'd go ahead and put some color down so you can see. And then I'm going to take and make a little head for my angel. And now the thing with making a circle is to hold the brush in one spot and spin it around. Don't move the brush, just spin it around and it makes a perfect circle. So you don't, like I said, there's going to be a lot more to this, so you don't have to be perfect. You want to just triangle in a circle and you're good. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come down about 3/4 of the way down the angel's body, and we're going to come up with a wing that's going to go from the neck of the angel to 3/4 of the way down the body. And you'll see in just a second when I start putting that. I'm just adding a few more of the blue colors and the different blues to my angel. You can do yours any way you want to. They were selling these jokers for a fortune, so please give it a try. It's super easy, and they came out really cute. So you could use this for any holidays or just for everyday decor, whatever you want to do. And I'm just adding colors so that in the end you'll be able to see it better. Okay, now I'm going to start on my wings, and I just want to come out from the neck of the angel to the edges of my canvas, or MDF board. And then I'm going to come down, like I said, a little bit more than halfway, about 3/4 is the best. And I'm just barely putting in a little bit of the blue to kind of feather it out and make it look like wings. And of course, my video is sped up so that you guys can get the full effect of it without being completely bored out of your mind. So do keep that in mind. This doesn't take just minutes. It does take a little time and effort to do, but it's super easy, super easy. Now I've got my, and I'm going to be going back and forth between projects, so you do have to watch that part of it. So I've pulled back my cross that I have on my canvas, and I'm going to take my Folk Art Royal Gold and just go over the top of the glue. And what I want to do is go over the top of the glue. I don't want to go down in the grooves or in the cracks where the background color is. I just want to layer on the top of the glue so that I'm adding some pretty gold color into my cross, and so that you can see it. Now this is just the Folk Art acrylic paint. It's my favorite, the Folk Art Royal Gold. You could go in and add glitter if you wanted to, or anything you want. That would be really cool. My magic glitter that I love, the iridescent superfine glitter. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave us a comment and tell me what you think about these techniques. I'd love to know and hear how your project went. Please let me know. And so you can see that I'm just going back in now, and I'm using actually I think I have a gold pen. And if you get like the 24 karat gold pens, or the Lowell Cornell, I think it is, gold pens, those are really the best. I like the 24 karat gold pen best. And and that is just to go over the top of where I was painting the royal gold with another type of gold. And you can see I'm just kind of going over and dotting it and making sure everything is, all the tops of the glue are covered. And it makes a totally different look. I love doing multimedia projects. They're so much fun, especially when you add things together. And I'll tell you, one of these days I'm going to get around to doing some serious spackling paste projects with the heavy duty spackling paste. I was fascinated by everything that they had because it was very, a lot of farmhouse themed items, but also the fact that I knew how a lot of these things were made just kind of floored me. I haven't been to a show in a long time, and so it was really fun to see all the newest, latest, and greatest things. Now this here is a Faber-Castell like a ink pen, or it has a brush tip on it, and I'm just using that around the edges to kind of give a little bit of a shadow to even make it more raised looking. My favorite Faber-Castell pens, love them. Okay, so now I'm gonna switch back to my angel, and switching back to the angel, I'm going to be using the glue gun on that, as well as some other things that we're going to be doing. We're going to use our lightweight spackling paste on our angel. So get some lightweight spackling paste. And if you've ever played with that stuff, it's really, really awesome because it feels like styrofoam a bit. And like, you know how spray foam is just like, wow, where has it been all my life? But this spackling paste, the lightweight stuff, is like you can sculpt with it, and that's what I love about it. It's very lightweight, of course, and you do have to be aware of that, but it's really cool. And now you can see I'm just adding glue to my angel everywhere that I want to have it show up in gold. You could do a different color. I happen to like the way the gold came out. And for these projects that I'm doing, that I saw the way they did them, this is the way they did them, so I wanted to do them exactly like that so you would have an idea of what they did. So I will say, the first part when I put the glue down, again, it was really thin, so I went back and I added even more glue to make it thicker and to make it really stand out. And it's just adding a texture to your painting. That's all it's doing. So now I'm taking my royal gold folk art paint and I'm just lightly going over where the glue is. And there's a couple of different things that I end up doing to this angel. As with all my projects, I kind of tend to do them until I'm happy with them. And then at that point, then I stop. It's just, I don't have a set thing that I'm going to do. I start with a basic knowledge of where I want to go with a project. And then I go from there, and it may change throughout the entire time that I'm doing it. And I want you to understand that this is inspiration. It is not exact science. So when you do your project, you do what you want to do, and you make it how you want to make it. And I hope that you employ some of these techniques and make yours look incredible. So now I'm just going over all the glue with the gold, and I'll be done with that in just a minute, and we'll move on to our next item. I hope you're enjoying these projects. I really enjoyed bringing them to you. I do want to do a couple of other painting techniques that for you to enjoy, so I hope that you like this. Let me know what you think about it when in the comments. And if you like or need to purchase any of the items that I'm using to craft, there are links below the video that tell you where you can go to purchase it, and you just copy the link and then paste it into your browser and it'll take you right to whatever you need. Anytime you do art of any kind, it's a matter of personal taste, and it's all, subjective to whoever likes it. So please feel free to make yours how you want to make it. Everybody's got a gift. You just need to learn how to use them. You can also check out my website at ivycreates.com, where you'll find some more information about me and about Ivycreates. And I hope to see you there. Alright, so now I did the paint, and I'm going to let that dry for just a little bit and then go on to our next step. So while that is drying, I'm going to work on my next project. This is the third project. And the first thing I want to do, of course, is I am going to be using actually Chalk Country Finishes. And it's, I don't remember, it's like a moss green. And using that as the base coat for my canvas. And I'm going to use that and get it all nice and pretty in one color. And like I said, I saw someone using chalk paint as a base for their paintings, and I tried it and I really, really liked it. It makes the colors look richer, and it makes everything really stick well and not slide around too much, because paint can be slippery. So I'm just going to go ahead and coat this whole thing because I'm using a stencil with it. And I want to make sure that it comes out good and dry as well. So now this is the stencil that I plan to use, and it's a Fresh Flower Market Seed Stems and Blooms, and I think I got it from Walmart. I'm not 100% sure, but anyways, so I'm going to be using the lightweight spackling paste, and so I'm going to go ahead and open that up. And this was another technique I saw at the Vintage Market Days that was they actually use, like, I think a cat or something, some kind of stencil that I wouldn't have thought of. And they put it on a piece of board, and they used the stencil, and they used, I think, the heavier weight spackling paste. I'm not entirely sure. But anyways, I'm using the lightweight spackling paste, and I'm just using literally my fingers to kind of go over the stencil. I am very much a finger painter. I'm sorry, I'm not fancy. I just like using my fingers a lot because they make the best tools. And so I'm going over my stencil with the spackling paste, and the idea is to make sure that it's covered, but it's kind of peaky, like it has little peaks on it. You don't want it flat, you don't want it smooth, you want it to have kind of peaks on it. And this is so simple and so easy. Now, this is the basics, and if you want to go from there, you can actually age this a lot. You can make a lot of changes to it. You can add some more of the spackling paste. But for what I was doing, I just wanted this, and that was it. And you can see how cute that is. It's so cute. And I'm just checking it with my little, it's actually, I think, a cheese server I bought at the Goodwill or something that I'm using as a palette knife. So, just check it and make sure everything's where it's supposed to be and it's not too wonky. And then let that dry overnight, preferably. And it's raised, and it's a stencil, and it's very cute. And like I said, the one they did was, I think it was a cat or something, and they ended up putting some, they had it in a frame, and they had it all aged and everything. They added a little bit more paint to it, so it was really unique. But I wanted to give you the idea of also this is how clean it can look with spackling paste. So now I just took like a little metallic marker that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to go under and around my little flower and the doodad that's below my Fresh Flower Market sign. Now, I thought about using some of this. They had this in the ribbon section of Dollar Tree. I didn't end up using it, but it was like a sticky back ribbon, and it was colorful and pretty, but I didn't end up using it on there. Now you can see I'm taking that same lightweight spackling paste, and I'm just kind of putting it on the wings of my angel between the glue, and doing it lightly just like I did the other. I want to make sure that it has like small peaks and it's not flattened. I want it to be kind of a little rough and give texture. Please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on our videos every week. I hope you're enjoying this. I love the way they came out, and the end project pictures are fantastic. So now I waited for this again to dry overnight. And the other best thing about this lightweight spackling paste is if it starts to dry a little bit, before I close it, I always put just a tad of water inside my spackling paste container so that it didn't dry up too much. So now I'm back to the cross again, and I decided I wanted to age it some and give it an antique look. So I got out the brown paint out of my Americana paints in the paint pot, and I just added a little bit of water to my brush and went around the edges of my cross picture and used a paper towel to wipe any excess off of it, but in still at the same time giving it that old look, the kind of, you know, antiqued and all, and wiping any excess on the cross itself. So the last thing I'm going to be doing to my angel is I want to go over her again with the gold paint pen and just put some gold highlights and lowlights wherever I can within the angel. And I looked and decided that she needed a little bit more glue on her dress because it just wasn't enough. If you don't put enough, it kind of looks like you didn't intend to do it or it was a mistake. So the more glue you have on it, the better. And with all that glue, I surely could have added some glitter, and I thought about it. Believe me, I really wanted to. But I refrained in the glitter and didn't do it and just put gold on there. I hope y'all are having a wonderful springtime. Our Easter just ended, and pretty much spring will be over with within a week. down here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, because we have 80 degrees coming up, and that means summer has begun. I enjoy spring for as long as it lasts, and usually that's only maybe a month, if that. So once the glue is all nice and dry, and I do recommend letting it sit and dry as opposed to using your glue gun, I mean your heat gun, of course, because you'll remelt the glue, and that would not be good. So you can see now I'm adding a lot more gold from my Folk Art Royal Gold to the dress of my angel. So after putting all the gold on the angel, I decided to kind of lightly go over the angel wings with a little bit of gold here and there, just to give it that, you know, antique kind of look using the gold. I hope you've enjoyed these projects. They came out really fantastic. I really enjoyed them. I hope you did too. So now I'm just kind of touching the peaks a little bit, the peaks of my spackling paste, to give you an idea, you know, just to highlight the tips and make it look feathery. And also where the glue is showing, I'm going back over that with a little bit more glue. I think she came out pretty cool. I hope you try this and tell me what you did with your spackling paste and how you made your mixed media look. I hope you enjoyed these 3 DIY techniques and all the differences that you can make with them and all the cool things you can make with this. And I hope it inspires you to really do something, you know, with what you have. The glue kind of makes the gold looks like it was dripping, and I'm sure you can order some gold glue of some sort, but this is just what I had on hand, and I wanted to make it fast. And this is my tank. He's my big boy, and that is little Lefty. And one more, I do believe. Yep, there's Miss Lucy. Just some fun pictures just to have, and this is Clarice. Clarice just got a makeover with her black hair and black lips.